The aptly named hotel celebrity in Bournemouth was called the Durlston Court back in 1933, when 8-year-old Tony Hancock's parents bought it. The big tree he used to play cricket against is still out front. Inside, memorabilia of his early comedy writing.
This is the original typewriter that Tony's parents, Jack and Lily, bought in 1933 with the original guarantee, which is still still intact.
Yeah, yeah.
The green machine underneath, that was one of Galton and Simpson's many machines that they used to do the scripts with.
Hancock aficionados like Linda and Tim can see how a hotel was a fertile feeding ground for a budding young comedian. Constant people watching led to opportunities to try out his boyish humour. And the stream of visiting showbiz guests soon had him watching their performances from the wings of the nearby Pavilion Theatre.
Everything was going in. He never forgot a thing. He used to sit back and look at all the guests coming in. He used to look at the way they behaved to each other, the idiosyncrasies, the characteristics. He used to pick it all up, and he had a mind like an attic. He never forgot anything. And what he saw here, he used it in his comedy and to the development of his characters in later years.
Who knew that that observational skill, harnessed with the help of comedy writers Ray Galton and Alan Simpson, would create a radio and TV phenomenon whose audience pulling power can only be marvelled at today?
The streets would clear when Hancock was on. There was no video recorders or iPlayer or whatever in those days, so if you didn't see it when it was on, then you didn't see it.
By the early 40s, 16-year-old Hancock was ready to try out his comedy on a paying audience. Still there in a Bournemouth backstreet, the Social Club, where he was given his first chance.
So this is where it all began. This is the stage, the original stage, which still exists, as you can see. The bar would have been full of people pulling pints, bags of crisps rattling, orders for pies being given, and of course people smoking. And he would have looked out from here and he would have seen faces lost in smoke and begun his act. And that was the beginning of a legend.
This is really fantastic. As a fan, to be standing here on the stage.
On this original stage.
The original
which must be kept, which must be preserved exactly the way it is.
Absolutely.
And I'm quite moved, actually.
Yes.
The club's original minutes book for July 1940 observed that there were a few complaints about his material, a mistake he repeated on his second gig at the rather more sensitive venue of Bournemouth's main Catholic church.
He went in there, stood on the stage and began his act, and of course, one by one, the audience, little old ladies, Sunday school teachers, one by one, they began to walk out on him. And that was a lesson, actually, a very important lesson he learned. And from that day on, all his material, stage, radio, TV, was clean, and he used to insist on that.
Hancock left Bournemouth in 1942 to join the RAF. After meeting Galton and Simpson, his destiny as a radio and TV star was sealed.
Their unique writing skills, plus Hancock's performance, come together to give us this this fantastic legacy of British comedy.
Later, he tried to break Hollywood with films which were not generally well received. In 1968, he took his own life, suffering from mental health issues and alcoholism. But his fans prefer to remember him not as a morose depressive, rather a genius of humour.
Hancock.
Hugely inspired by his hometown. Martin Dowse, ITV News, Bournemouth.